server. So what is this server? This server is the physical server. What is server? This server is a physical server. So what is the physical server? Dell Power Edge R710 server. What is this? This is the R710 server. So this is a CentOS 9 is installed on this machine. Okay. So I told you, right, guys? So this is the non-production environment and this is the production environment, right? So in non-production environment and non-production environment, development environment or QA environment, how many people are working in every environment, guys? The non-production or for example, this is the repository. So in the repository, the code will be, mm, yeah, I will tell you this way. Okay, so this is the WhatsApp. So WhatsApp contains the two modules initially. One is chat, another one is contact. Right. So how many developers will work for this project? We need two developers to work on this project. To work on this project, how many developers? Two developers will work on the this project. Chat and contacts. Chat and contacts. Right. So this is the the Dell PowerEdge server is a big server. The resources will be big. So for example, resources is nothing but a RAM, 128 GB RAM, and CPU, 20 core CPU, and hard disk. Hard disk is nothing but a storage, 2 TB of a storage. Okay, 2 TB of the storage, 2 TB of the storage. But how many people? So every server having their own U limit, guys. What is that? U limit is nothing but a user limit. User limit is, for example, 20K. 20K people can connect this server. Okay. But how many people are connecting this server, guys, every day? Only two people are connecting because of the development environment. So working on the two people, they develop, once they develop the code, they will test it in the development environment. But here two are working it. But what is the U limit? User limit, you can up to 20,000 people will connect this server. 20,000 people will work on this server. Right. So right, in the QA also the same thing. 20K people, but 20K people we can connect this server. But the QA will connect only again two people. Right. But the cost of this server is 5 lakhs. For the cost of this server is 5 lakhs. So 5 lakhs and 5 lakhs. So we don't need this much amount of we don't need this much amount of the storage, because this much amount of the resources, because of only two developers will work on this server. And the QA also same. Right. And a big innovative thought comes into the picture. What is that, guys? A big innovative thought comes into the picture, and come the virtualization. What is the guide, guys? A virtualization. So virtualization. So what is a virtualization, guys? So virtualization is nothing but a bare metal software. What is that, guys? Bare metal a software. Virtualization is a bare metal software. So bare metal software is nothing but on top of the, what is that, guys? On top of the software. So why this virtualization software? So this is the concept of virtualization. So what is a virtualization? So if you use the virtualization, any virtualization software, so we can install, and so it will be available for the freely available resources, and we can install the number of OSs, freely available resources, and we can install the number of OSs based on the number of voices based on the RAM and CPU and the hard disk. Right. So for one server, we can install the number of OSs. For example, here we can install here we install the VMware or OVM. So this is the virtualization software, right? On top of virtualization, Linux and VMware company took that created the softwares and combined and released as a VMware. That is nothing but a virtualization. A virtualization is nothing but a bare metal software, the combination of a Linux and VMware. So with the help of OS, so they created software and installed here for releasing the resources to install the number of VMs. So what this is? Virtual machine, virtual machine, virtual machine, and virtual machine. So we can install the number of OSs, CentOS, we can install Red Hat, Windows, or whatever it may be, guys. So in one server, so we can install the dev and QA environment. Right, dev and QA environment. Right, here we have a 5 lakhs per server, but how many OSs we installed? We installed the 4 OSs, right? The cost will be reduced from 90% of the cost will be reduced from the physical to the virtualization. So that's the reason virtualization comes into the picture. So that's the reason virtualization is comes into the picture. Guys, understood? Yeah, I will show you one diagram. Yeah. So the virtualization installing multiple guest operating systems in a one host operating system. Hypervisor software will be used to achieve this. We need to install all the required softwares, host OS to run our applications. Right? So, yeah. You see, so this is the host OS. Host OS is nothing but the hypervisor VMware OVM or anything, and you install the OSs. Guest OS here we install the Red Hat, CentOS, Ubuntu, FreeBSD Linux, Kali Linux. So anything we can install it, guys. So what is the advantage? Multiple OS in the same mission, easy to maintenance and recovery, lower total cost of the ownership. Lower total cost of the ownership. Guys, understood? So the virtualization. So what is the virtualization and why virtualization? So to overcome the to reduce the cost, but we don't need this much amount of the resources for the physical server on dev environments and QA environment. Just 2 GB RAM, 4 GB RAM, 2 CPU, 20 GB hard disk is enough for to deploy our application. Right? So for that purpose, we can use the virtualization. Guys, understood virtualization? Guys, understood? Yeah, we can pass, but Pratik, we can pass the EX200. Okay, understood? Yeah, thanks. So now you understood the what is virtualization.